Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you happen to be watching. Thanks again for joining us on our Sixth Bugle podcast. I'm your host, Rudy Ruiz, and we're here with our co-host, Christy Hensler. Christy, how are you?
Hello, I am relaxed, I'm going to say,
Hey,
based on our topic
she's
today.
trying to pick a different word every time.
I am trying to be, I really need to get a dictionary.
And I think that's the second time I called you Chrisley because I say Christy Hensler and the L kind of hangs in there.
It just kind of goes in. That's okay.
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, I
It's,
know
I
I've been
know.
called worse, so yeah. So this time, this on this session, we have a very special guest with us, Miss Phoebe Sloan. Phoebe, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Oh,
I'm happy to be here.
we're
Very
doing
happy.
fantastic. Well, the reason why Phoebe's here is because she's going to be one of our special guests at our Sixth Bugle Conference here in Perrysburg. So Phoebe owns a company called Parting Clouds Yoga, and what she's going to be doing for us at the conference is sharing her skills on how to incorporate chair yoga for you folks that spend a lot of time in your chairs, but we want to be able to get your blood flowing, get a little exercise going without causing any embarrassing positions or anything like that. We're not going to have you do positions on the floor or anything like that, but we want to make sure we keep your blood flowing. So we want to make sure you're healthy because you know what our focus is: healthy minds, healthy bodies. So we're going to have Phoebe there to talk about some of the things that she specializes in. So, Phoebe, I have a couple questions here for you. So the first
Yeah.
question is, can you tell us about the deep family roots and personal journey that led you to creating the Parting Clouds Yoga?
Yeah, I'd love to talk a little bit about that. I think it's a fun story. So I started doing yoga, practicing yoga as a kid. I was about 12 years old, and my dad enrolled us in a yoga class and actually in Perrysburg at the 577 Foundation.
Okay.
And there was maybe only 4 or 5 of us in the class. I was by far the youngest person there. And it was just a way for my dad and I to kind of bond. And, as a 12-year-old girl, you don't really want to hang out with your dad too often,
Right.
usually. But my dad's pretty cool. He was. And so we took classes. I loved it. I fell in love right away. Of course, I was young and flexible and strong. I had a gymnast background and I loved it. So I was hooked from day one, which doesn't always happen to everyone when they try yoga.
Mhm.
But so fast forwarding to after college, I had been practicing not completely. So I took classes at 577 with my dad all throughout high school.
Okay.
And then when I went to college, moved out west after college, and then I ended up in Seattle where I found a really great yoga studio that I loved, and all the people there were really wonderful. And they hosted a teacher training. So I ended up taking that, and during that time, my parents were back here in Ohio, and they had found a yoga studio that they loved. It was an ashram actually down in Florida.
Okay.
And they went down there to get their teacher training. So we kind of simultaneously, not planned,
Mm.
got our certification sort of at the same time. And I ended up staying a little longer out west while they opened a studio that they called Parting Clouds Yoga. My dad named it. Um, and it they just kind of taught out of their home in Perrysburg, and they taught around the area also at different sunshine communities and different places like that. And when I moved home finally after a few years, I spent about 6.5 years out west, moved home and ended up starting to teach with them at their studio. And so we were just kind of trying to share our knowledge of yoga with the community and with as many people as we wanted to. And back then, it wasn't very prevalent the way it is now. And it's only been maybe 20 years or a little less than 20 years, but things have changed so much around our area. There's yoga studios everywhere.
Sure.
So we ended up actually meeting this wonderful woman named Debbie Chapman, and she ended up having a studio that she opened, and she was just going to do Pilates, which we didn't really know anything about, and she wanted to incorporate yoga. So she kind of hired the three of us, and I was the manager there also, as well as teaching, and we hired more instructors, and we all ended up being there for about 10 years, which was really wonderful. It was a great place to start out. I learned the business side of the whole operation of running a yoga studio and managing instructors and whatnot, and all that fun stuff in the background.
Is it really fun? Was that an honest fun?
Not the best part of business, but
Yeah.
but it was fun. It was fun to learn, and really a wonderful experience. So I'm so happy I had that under my belt. And so during that time, unfortunately my dad got sick and he did pass away. And then Debbie actually ended up also getting very ill and unfortunately passed away. So the studio closed. And that was just a couple years ago. And so my mom and I were like, well, now what do? We don't want to work for another studio. Let's just open our own. And as soon as we kind of decided to do that, things just really fell into place where we were looking at different locations, and it just all happened very easily, to our surprise. We really didn't anticipate it falling together so quickly. So we ended up finding a really nice space in Maumee, right on Conant, and we of course named the studio Parting Clouds Yoga after my dad, in honor of him, and just in honor of the whole symbolism behind it. So yeah, that's kind of I guess the whole background of how we got started. And now we're on it's been about 1.5 years since we opened. So and things are going really well. And we love our location. We love our landlords at Sunshine Communities. And yeah, it's been a really great experience overall.
That sounds great.
Awesome. I love that you have did that since you were a teenager. I actually am new to yoga just like in the last couple months.
Yeah.
I had a surgery earlier this year and I couldn't get back to the gym as quickly as I wanted. So I was like, I felt like I needed to do something to heal. And so I was like, I'm going to check out yoga. And so, but I've learned along the way that there's a lot of different yoga isn't just yoga. Like there's a lot of different practices. So what kind of practices do you offer at Parting Clouds? Do you blend a lot of different practices, or what can somebody expect when they come to your studio?
We try to offer kind of a nice wide variety because, everyone finds, hopefully everyone finds their path in yoga. But it's always at a different time. And it's always like when you're ready to find it. And you could be 80 years old and just starting out to do yoga. So, and we also have kids that come, with their, even younger than 12, younger than I was. So we try to offer a little bit of something for everyone. And yoga can be very movement based. I mean, our concept typically in this Western world, we think of yoga as just the exercises, the postures and the practice, where a lot, really the foundation and the ancient history of yoga is more about meditation. It's more about mental health and being able to meditate and to think clearly, to have clear and concise thoughts, and to be fully present and aware in your experience in life. And so we try to, so obviously we have all the movement-based classes. We do power yoga, and that's for the person that really wants a workout and that's there to get a good sweat and to really move and to build strength. And so we have that, and that's not for everybody. We also have restorative yoga, which is more about relaxation. We use lots of props, blankets, lots of bolsters, which are just big pillows. And so you're just resting on top of these props and relaxing, mainly to calm the nervous system, calm your body. It's great. You know, once people try it, they get hooked because it's just so relaxing. And it doesn't come easy for everyone just to sit and do nothing, right? It's not,
Yes.
it's
I'm
not
living that
easy.
right now with the
Right,
bolsters
it's
and the
not
blankets.
easy. Yeah, it's not easy to close your eyes for an
It's
hour and
not.
just sit there. But we
Yes.
try to make it more, we try to make it so that you're really relaxed. And so we have those types of classes. We have a combination of both, like I taught this morning, where it's a little bit of movement and also a little relaxation. So you get a little bit of both. We also have really fun events. So outdoor yoga is something that we love to do, especially this time of year, of course. We have yoga by the boat, which is on the river, down at the National Great Lakes Museum. And it's right by the water. There's a big boat there and a great museum where you can get a discount on an entry fee if you take the class. But it's an early morning Saturday class, and it's really great. It's just, you hear the sounds of the water and the birds, and it's really nice to connect with nature out there. And then we also have things like sound baths where we play instruments, and it's usually during around the full moon, just because it's kind of like a big energy time. And people do, my mom usually, or another instructor will teach yin yoga, which is also kind of a relaxation class. You move around a little bit and you use lots of props, but it's more like a very deep stretch. So you're getting into those deep muscle tissues and relaxing into those postures while you're listening to the sounds of like crystal bowls and chimes, drums. We pull out all the toys and we
Sounds like
we
it.
love to play. It's so much fun. I have really found, especially this last year, just experimenting with sound and music. It's really great. And I very much love to do that. And I think people really like that too.
Interesting.
So we
all
try
one-on-one, or do you do group? Or is it all group, or do you do one-on-one?
Well, we do mainly group. We do have the
Okay.
option if you want to do one-on-one, or even like a small group of just you and your partner, or you and your friends, or we have that available for people to do. And we also offer healing services, which is something my mom offers because she's trained in so many different things. She was a nurse, she was a massage therapist, she's a Reiki practitioner, and Reiki is just kind of like healing energy. So you're kind of moving around this stuck energy that we have in our bodies, and just healing from there. It's a really wonderful thing to do, and those are one-on-one, then can be booked with her. So yeah, we try to have a little bit of everything.
Sounds like it already. I know. I was like, yes, it sounds like. I love how you focus on the real, like what yoga was really meant to be too. It's not just the workout part of it, because it really is that awareness centering thing. I'm learning that too from what I'm doing, because I'm doing more of the restorative. Slow, very slow.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, the misconception of yoga, it's like, I have to be really flexible and have a lot of strength. And it's like, you really don't. I mean, you build that, of course, if you're doing more of a physical practice, and you do it weekly or daily even, you're going to build that strength and flexibility. But you don't have to, you can take the classes that are more inward and more about meditation and relaxation, and you'll still get the same benefit. So
sounds like you have something for everybody.
Yes.
We try. And we're always, open to other things. There's always new things popping up, and we like to try everything. Now I think I have a group of I believe there's 8 of us now, instructors. So everybody's a little different too. So it's not just like me and my mom teaching. It's a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds, and they bring something really cool to the table, really unique that not everyone else has. So it's great.
And it sounds like you can customize the services that you have, and based on what they're dealing with, or how life kind of gets in the way. and
Mhm.
how what they can do in order to respond to that. And I like the couples session
Mhm.
where yeah, that could even be a benefit for marriages, right? Or for
Right.
just
Mhm.
Yeah.
partnerships, just so that we can
Yeah.
get together and relax together
It
and
is.
come to the realization that there's more to life than just going to work, punching the clock, and coming back
Mhm.
home, having dinner, watching TV, and then do it all over again tomorrow, right?
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
it's true. It's something different. And we do have actually a couple partners that come to the studio, and we have mothers and daughters, we have,
mhm.
sons and mothers, we have
Yeah,
partners, marriage. So it's really cool to
that's good.
see that family involvement in our
Yeah,
classes too.
yeah. That's very important. And when you mentioned family, reminded what you said about your father, and I'm sorry to hear about your father. I know he was a major part of your development in this whole process. So,
Mhm.
your studio's name, Parting Clouds Yoga, has a beautiful symbolism. I'm curious, how does this concept of revealing clarity and hidden potential influence your students?
I love the symbolism of parting clouds. So, like I mentioned before, my dad named the studio, and way back when he first started, and it's actually a qigong movement. So he was really into qigong as well as yoga, of course, and tai chi. So, qigong is just kind of it's a moving meditation with linked with breath. So very slow movements,
Hmm.
and parting clouds. It's a physical movement of raising your arms up and then literally like virtually parting the clouds and raising your arms down. And this has a symbolism to reveal and to kind of clear the mental fog,
Wow. Yeah.
to shed light and reveal your truth and reveal those hidden truths that are inside of us all.
Wow.
So it's a really lovely, wonderful physical movement. It's relaxing, and just when you combine it with the symbolism, it's really a beautiful thing.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so we feel that it really serves us well as far as, you know, showing people with our name, just showing what we're all about. And that's really what we're all about is we believe that every person has their own path to yoga, and whatever it can be physically in the postures, in meditation, using breath, or whatever the path is, we try to facilitate that to where the ultimate goal is to bring peace and clarity, a sense of calm, and to be fully present and fully aware in your daily life so that you can kind of use yoga as a tool of self-discovery and of growth,
Mhm.
and also to have fun.
Right.
It's not just
Yeah.
about the deep, of course, we like to go deep and
Sure.
and really feel our bodies, feel how we actually are, and to become aware, but we also like to bring joy also
Absolutely.
to that, and a sense of lightness and calmness, and to really just enjoy the day, enjoy the moment, and to be fully aware and present. So that's really what we're all about. And we really
Fantastic.
like to try to build a community too with our studio and with our members and our clients, and they all become friends, and it's just like a very kind and loving experience. So we really want to facilitate that as well.
That's great. Well, I
Mhm.
am certainly glad that you're going to join us here this year, and
Me too.
you're going to fit right in.
Good.
You're exactly what this whole concept was created on, to make
Mhm.
sure that we can take care of ourselves, make
Mhm.
sure that we can, because we have to be better prepared in order to take care of others.
Mhm.
The fire service administrative assistance is all about that, all about taking care of the firefighters on one end and the chief officers on the other. And they often find themselves in the middle and how they have to cope with the
Mhm.
challenges on a day-to-day basis,
Oh,
right?
I'm sure
And
it's got to be very stressful, I'm sure.
yeah, and they're the anchor in a lot of cases because they're the ones that have to hold everything together.
Mhm.
And so this is going to be a perfect a perfect getaway for our attendees, and I am looking forward to it. And hopefully, we can put something together so that we have offer them services after the conference, right?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that too. And I'm really looking forward to offering not only our local community, but soon to offer video library of classes
Yes.
that you can just access on our website or our app, and just really make it simple so that anyone can do it in any state, anywhere, and just access our library. So that'll be very exciting. I'm looking forward to that too.
Good. Well, I'm certainly glad we ran into each other, and
Thank
I think
you.
you're doing a wonderful service for people, especially in this day and age, how
Mhm.
there's a lot of animosity out there. There's a lot of hate, I'm afraid to say, out there.
Yeah,
We just need to come back to our core and realize why we're here and love each other, respect each other, and value each other, and make sure that we have that in ourselves so that we can continue living a long, prosperous, and healthy life.
yeah, I agree with that 100%. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So I look forward to the conference and to working more with you for sure.
All right, sounds great. Christy, any parting words?
No, I love what you're doing. And I'm excited to see how you do this at the conference, because I have learned too that you can, in 2 or 3 minutes, you can do something that can really bring you back and bring you present. And it doesn't have to be like, I always thought yoga, I got to get in sweatpants and I got to lay on the floor and I got to do all these poses for an hour, and you really can teach people ways in the moment of their day, of their stressful day, being an administrative assistant and running around doing all of this, to stop even for 2 or 3 minutes and catch their breath and come back to. So it'll be interesting to see this in
Exactly. Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
So
You're so
no,
right.
looking forward to seeing you and participating right along with you. So
Good. Yeah, me too.
All
so
right. Well, Phoebe, thanks again for joining us on the Sixth Bugle podcast. Again, our conference is on September 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th
6, yes.
at the Perrysburg Holiday Inn and Suites on Carronade, not the other one, the one on Carronade. And we'll have access to registration on www.thesixthbugle.org, and you can register there. Remember to do it before August 1st, because that's when the early
Mhm.
bird deadline is. And after that, the price is gonna increase an additional $50. So you want to be able to access that early bird fee. And there's also a link for the hotel stay there, and you can access your hotel stay. And we are looking forward to a very fun-filled event with a lot of good speakers. We'll have the list of speakers out sometime this week, and that way you all know who's all going to be there as our speakers. So again, thank you, Phoebe, for joining us. We certainly do
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And thank you all for joining us on the Six Bugle podcast. Take care.
Thank you.